Hey, what's up, guys? Hang on, I might have lied about the drones. I'm trying to fix the batteries. Give me 1 minute. Here, listen to the song. Here's the opening song. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, why is this playing? Hang on, I might have lied about the drones. Battery acid and garlic cheesy bread grease all over my hands.
What you tripping on? No. Then what you tripping on? What you tripping on? What you tripping on? What you tripping on? Saving over break and we can make way. One noticing up, son. Like a bullet down a tongue, stick around, you get stung in a pain and agony while looking at me deep. Progressing is past your let up 6 feet deep. The whole of what you see is time to go to sleep. Send you to the coffin while we said don't breathe. It's something single, magical, lyrically acrobatical, dramatical, too erratical, no time to go. Oh, you tripping on me now? Shit, my friend, check it out. Control. What you tripping on? Tripping motherfucker. Tell me what you really can. Fucking you are my booty in a baggie, coming at me.
You guys see that?
I'm never slipping. Sun minus bunkers, my mind is never tripping. Rising with my wisdom is with earth, I'm shedding light. Knowledge being shouting like a veggie in the night. I'm a demon with this dialect with over California. Now with this how we got to hold ya. Crazy well that versus the versus homicidal. Verbal king at the ring. That naked clips at the title. Oh. So what you tripping on? Check it out. So what you tripping on? The music we do is do not be mine. But don't you see it? Learn to there is no back. Follow the righteous with the vicious attack. Get it our way and think about the monkey that ain't no track. What you tripping on now? So what you tripping on? What you tripping on now?
Oh, sorry.
What you tripping on?
What am I listening to, are you asking? Hang on, let me grab your phone. Put it out. They're like trying to bite me. Turn off. Oh! Turn off, you freak. They're like Newton, man. They won't turn off. Oh, good Lord. Oh, no, I think I broke one. Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no. I might have busted one of the drones. I'm such an idiot. Oh, I'm gonna get this set up. It's so hot in here. What's up, everybody? Who's here? Dark Hour Paranormal. Let me get you into the stream. Are you here, Dark? I might need you here, buddy, in case this Wi-Fi crashes on me. I need to keep it going. Let me catch my breath for a minute. It's chasing drones around. It's like they're possessed. Can you guys hear me? Sorry if there's background noise in the background. So hot in here. Stupid drones. But I wanted to talk about the Twitter craze that was caused by the Trumps today or yesterday. I gotta put my glasses on so I can see what the hell I'm doing. What's up, everybody? Say hi. Game Vets here, Dark Hour. Dark Hour, you got the link, so just jump in. Stu, Big Cat, Nathan. Thought I saw Richie G here earlier. They got the invite too. Look at my glasses are fogging up. Whew, boy. But you know what's funny to me with this with the Trump thing is he's getting a lot more credibility because obviously, you know, he's the POTUS. He's the man. And people are taking him seriously. And I think his a lot of his voting base probably digs UFOs as well. And so he's probably, you know, going for it here. But it's funny to me because back in 2007, I went to a Democratic convention, one of those debates. I went to a Democratic debate at Soldier Field, and Dennis Kucinich was there. And Dennis Kucinich, he was on the same stage as Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama at the time, and I'm sure Biden was there, and there was a few other, John Edwards, John Kerry, but they were talking to Kucinich, and Kucinich had mentioned if he was elected president, he wanted to make UFOs known to the public for whatever, I guess, the government knew, and he was laughed off the stage. Anyway, I mean, almost. In other interviews I saw with Kucinich, where he talked about UFOs, he's pretty much laughed off. But one of the other videos that I'm going to talk about today, and I'm going to get into which ones I'm going to talk about here in a minute, but is UFO Jesus put out one today on YouTube, and him and I would sometimes go back and forth about politicians and during election years, especially if they would come out and talk UFOs. And so you see Trump taking a different position here, you know, and usually me and UFO Jesus debate. Well, we did back in the day when I would debate him, but he was like, whatever, dude, with your 75 followers, beat it. And I was like, it took me a long time to get these 75 followers, man. I don't try to BS anyone. But when I was there back in 2007 watching Kucinich, I just saw the ridicule that he got. And so now with Trump taking a different approach, I think, to me, it's more or less some showmanship because it is an election year and Trump is sort of a showman, you know, and he's going through a lot of crap right now. I don't like to be political when I talk. I don't pick a side. You know, I'll let people debate it out for themselves. But, you know, this one's interesting to me because it really set UFO social media kind of on fire. And there was like 4 different shows in the past, maybe 10 hours that came out. And so I'm going to talk about a few. One's going to be, like I said, UFO Jesus. And then Spaced Out Radio talked with Goofon last night. And they talked about, as this news came out about Donald Trump Jr.'s triggered live stream, I guess it was, you know, Dave and Goofon were talking about it. So I'm going to play a little bit of that. And then, you know, third phase of the moon was actually in the chat room during Spaced Out Radio's chat with Goofon, and I had made a comment to them. I was like, you guys should do a body language analysis video on them. They didn't do that, but they did put out a video where they talked about what they thought, and they mentioned Richie Goofon at the end. So I thought it was pretty cool. I'm going to show that one as well. And so let's get into the Spaced Out Radio. You guys see me fly my drones? These things are trying to eat me alive. I think one of them's broken now. I'm gonna have to take it to the garbage and go get a new one because it was only $50. It was cool though. I only got one video out of it. I didn't know how to do it. It's really hard to set up. But you know what's interesting is this share here. Here's what I'm gonna start with. Black Vault, the Black Vault, John Greenwald has an originals channel where he actually put out the video of Trump talking. So I think I'm going to play that one first. I'll play that one first, and then we'll get into the other ones because then we won't have to keep on replaying what they first said. So here it is. Here's the haunted bar. If you guys see any ghosts or anything coming around, let me know. All I say is unscripted. It should show I have no answer to why paranormal things exist and do not want your money. I only enjoy great conjecture and chat. I don't plan any of this. Just rush into it like an idiot. Everybody laughs at me. Like, quit sounding like an idiot, dude. I'm like, sorry, I just rush into it. All right, let me get this video set up. Share screen.
Before you leave office, will you let us know if there's aliens? Because this is the only thing I really want to know. I want to know what's going on. Would you ever open up Roswell and let us know what's really going on there?
So many people ask me that question.
I know it sounds almost ridiculous, but it's actually the real question.
It sounds like a cute question, but it's actually, there are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So you're saying you may declassify?
Oh.
You'll take it?
Well, I'll have to think about that one.
Boom. So he saw the video. He saw Trump. He said there's something interesting about Roswell. He knows. He's the POTUS, man. He knows the info. He must know something more than most. When I was in the Marine Corps, I always thought the government probably doesn't know jack crap about UFOs, to be honest. If they did, they'd probably be building up more, making their weapons better for that purpose. But it's always been my impression that the government doesn't have too much information. And so what this kind of really looks to me is just like a cliffhanger. You know, it's sort of a Trump cliffhanger where, you know, you have me elected in 2020 and I'll lead you on for 4 more years and never disclose any UFO information because he probably knows just as much as anybody else. That's just my opinion on these things. I'm no professional. I'm just a guy who sees UFOs a lot. They're fun to see. And I hang out in the haunted bar. It's kind of cool. But let's get to the next one, what we're going to talk about, which was... let me share this one. SOR with Goofon Radio. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Well, this is a live... Dave Scott does a live show. Let me put myself in there. So Dave Scott, Spaced Out Radio, he does a live show on YouTube. You can catch his channel, Spaced Out Radio. He had Richie Goofon from Goofon Radio Stream on last night, and they had a discussion about when this news broke. Let's call it news. You know, the podcast or whatever Donald Jr.'s triggered came out, and one of the questions asked was, was about aliens. And here is Dave Scott and Goofon's reply. I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to replay it here. Check it out.
Do this then, because there was just recently a piece that just came out. This is completely fresh, okay, where President Donald Trump sat down with his son who interviewed him. And to me, that's a little bit slapstick that's even happening. All right. But his son did ask about Roswell and UFOs and basically said, will you ever tell us about what happened at Roswell and UFOs? And President Trump, if you read the facial language, to me, when I watched it, and I'm not sure if you've seen it yet or not, but when I watched it, it really felt like he was hiding something, like he knew that there was something.
He always looks that way. Yeah. I didn't see it.
Oh, you got to watch it. It's very strange. His reaction. When he's asked if he will disclassify
Nathan,
it, he actually kind of looks to his right with a smile on his face and says,
back. I had it on
And
mute.
usually
I had
in
it
this
on
field,
mute.
it's never what it is.
Sorry. Let me go back to the question at hand. All right.
there was just recently a piece that just came out. This is completely fresh.
Thank you, Nathan.
Okay, where President Donald Trump sat down with his son who interviewed him. And to me, that's a little bit slapstick that's even happening. All right. But his son did ask about Roswell and UFOs and basically said, will you ever tell us about what happened at Roswell and UFOs? And President Trump, if you read the facial language, to me, when I watched it, and I'm not sure if you've seen it yet or not, but when I watched it, it really felt like he was hiding something, like he knew that there was something.
He always looks that way. Yeah. I didn't see it.
Oh, you got to watch it. It's very strange. His reaction is very, very strange.
You guys can hear it, right? Can you guys hear this? Right? Nathan, it's all good now? Okay, thank you. Thanks, Nathan. My man. Hi, First Floor Audio. What's up, Ray B? Thank you guys for joining in. And play this.
Strange that he says, yeah, maybe I will. A lot of people ask me about that all the time, and maybe I will just figure out what's going on at a later date. I'm not sure yet. We'll see if I tell you.
That's a recent interview?
Yeah, just happened. Fresh news.
I didn't see
Fresh
it.
news.
That's wild. Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
I just tweeted it out, actually.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it here. 1 second.
That's what I was going to do real quick and take a look.
And we'll play it for you.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it here. I got to go back to my. Okay.
I want to know what's going on. Would you ever open up Roswell and let us know what's really going on there?
So many people ask me that question.
I know it sounds almost ridiculous, but it's actually the real question.
Sounds like a cute question, but it's actually, there are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So you're saying you may declassify?
Sorry, I'm replaying the same stuff that I said I didn't want to replay. I was busy sending Dark Hour Paranormal a link to jump in. He could jump in the show. Hang on, let me get to this. Choink. Spaced Out Radio.
You'll take it.
Well, I'll have to think about that.
Going on there.
It is, if you read body language, if you watch his reaction to it, to me it's amazing. It almost reminded me of President Obama when he was on, I believe, the Jimmy Kimmel show, and the topic of UFOs came up and aliens came up and Roswell and Area 51. And you could see that he was a little uncomfortable in wanting to answer those questions, but he knew they were coming. He knew, just like President Trump knew about this question coming, because his son actually tweeted out, I'm going to be asking the president about aliens.
Oh, so they were, out of everything they were talking about, he focused on that.
And that's the only part. I mean, it's 30 seconds long. All right. But in that 30 seconds, what do you get out of that, Rich?
I was trying to look for it. I going by what you were describing, it does sound like, but Trump always does this. It sounds like he has something up his sleeve, like the cat that swallowed the canary type of look. I bet that's what he looked like. And Trump does that a lot. He does a lot of misdirection and make believes he knows something when he doesn't. He's always done that. But every other time I've seen him talk about UFOs, he always had a serious face. And if he was smiling through this one, that's interesting. He's changed something in him. He may have seen something that he likes and he can't contain himself, so subconsciously he's smiling. He likes what he saw. Or not.
I agree with Richie there. He did like whatever he saw. He liked whatever he saw. It was pretty cool. There's Dark Hour. Dark Hour, you're on, buddy.
Hey, what's up, pal? Sorry I took a moment there. I just didn't have the link, but we're good now. How's it going, man?
It's all good, man. How are you?
Good. I'm in the basement this time because hopefully the router's not going to screw off on me here.
Are you on Wi-Fi or do you plug it into Ethernet?
No, I'm on Wi-Fi, unfortunately.
Okay, that's all good. I hope you don't have to stand up the whole time.
Oh, I don't mind, dude. That's not a big deal for me. Not at all.
Did you see any of this Trump information that was presented to the world? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm sort of in a similar stance as you, wondering what his motivation for this sort of thing is. He's not really giving us much. The fact that he's mentioning, Roswell and, UFO videos and stuff. Obviously, he did declassify, I think, those 4 ones that was briefed by the Navy. Even at that point, he kind of flip-flops. He's like, well, I don't believe it. Well, it's possible. I don't think it's this. Well, it really could be. You can't get much from him, in my opinion. And yeah, I think he might be baiting some of those voters along a little bit, because, hey, when you mentioned something about that, you give a little bit out, people are going to be obviously thirsty for more and hoping that if he sticks around, we'll get more,
Absolutely. What do you think? What do you think that if Trump knows something, what do you think he knows? Does he know the basics, like ETs exist or UFOs exist, or do you think he just knows absolutely nothing and is just basically stringing everybody along?
In my opinion, I honestly think he doesn't know as much as perhaps some of the former presidents. Again, this is completely my opinion. I just don't think that some of the people that are around him and the higher ups trust him enough to maybe, I don't know, not to have loose lips about certain things or use it as a power play. And that being said, presidents aren't necessarily told the entire story. Most of them are on a need-to-know basis, whether they realize that or not. And I just don't think Trump really knows too much. He probably has an idea, I think, but I don't think he has anything conclusive.
I think if Trump had an idea, I think that he would, maybe he does have an idea because he's building up Space Force now. Do you think Space Force may be a reply to what he knows?
It's possible. It's absolutely possible. Again, it comes down to what motivates him, if he's going to be that president, it really kind of pulls people along and together in this respect. I would be absolutely stunned. I'd give him credit where credit's due, but I'd be stunned if it was him that did this.
I had said to you the other night, I think on your show or maybe on a Goof On show, I was saying that if there's going to be one thing that brings humanity together, it's going to be knowing that UFOs are right above us. Wouldn't that kind of make people want to join hands and be like, hey, let's fight this together if we have to?
I think that's right. I think that there would be a sense of unity automatically, especially in the wake of a threat. Obviously people have talked about a mock invasion or something like that, you know, the theories that go behind that and the philosophy as to why that would be something feasible. I don't think they really want us banding together, man. I don't think they want us to understand the length of our consciousness, our own personal power, and how powerful we are when we're together. It would just shatter pretty much the paradigm that they've created and we exist in and create alongside with them.
That was very well said, Michael. Very well said. I agree with that 100%. It reminds me of the movie A Bug's Life, when all the bugs finally figure out that, you know, they can fight off the big crickets or whatever hell they were.
Yeah, what were they, grasshoppers or something?
Grasshoppers.
Something like that? I can't remember, but that was an awesome movie. I do remember that. But yes, exactly. Same idea. You know, when you have obviously a threat that not only threatens you, it threatens your neighbor of a different color, it threatens, you know, the different cultured house down the street. When everybody's collectively threatened, I think it's probably human nature in some respects to band together and, you know, try to overcome that.
You would hope so. I would hope so. But my first impression would be to hope that the ETs come in peace, because if they can make it here, who knows what they can do? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the technology that it's been said before. I mean, where did all this technology come from for the last 100 years? How come we had to go through so many different other ages of struggle and, you know, import goods and materials and try to figure things out? It seemed at such a snail's pace, and all of a sudden 20th century shows up, 21st century, and we have all this crazy technology out of nowhere, seemingly. I mean, it came from somewhere.
Well, Trump said that he knew something about Roswell, and it's very interesting. And there was a book by a guy named Corso who said that we developed a lot of technology because of a crash at Roswell.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Now, this is coming from all different sources. This isn't just one isolated story that they're talking about. This sort of conjecture is all over the place. It's all over the place. And we're only talking about stuff that we can understand in our language, for example. I mean, we don't know what happens in China or Japan or Germany. I mean, specifically because, you know, I'm not versed in any of those languages, and I'm sure if we were, we could find so many more people having these same experiences, you know.
Absolutely. I was saying this. I was saying this to Area 503. He has a channel and he gets a lot of UFO videos sent to him. I was saying to him, I wish we could connect all these dots with the UFOs and put these common UFOs that look the same together and post them out. Maybe we can get it together. But yeah, you were 100% right. People need to come together and take on the UFO subject. I want real. You know, if the government does have information, just cut loose with it. You know, I've seen them too many times. I know they're real. I don't need any disclosure from the government, to be honest with you. I just want to know what the hell they are and what their intentions are, to be honest with you, Michael.
Yeah, no, I absolutely hear you on that, man. Like we kind of briefly discussed the other night, I think personally, you know, if the disclosure was to happen, people wouldn't be so upset that they now realize that ETs are real and, you know, we've been working with them. They'd be more upset understanding and realizing that they've been lied to directly to their face for decades, perhaps centuries, you know what I mean, in certain ways, but definitely decades, straight up lied. And then they're just going to question everything else, you know, and who knows what kind of ball of yarn that unravels.
You know, Richie Goofon was on Spaced Out Radio last night, and they had a little conversation that I just played. I'm sure you saw a little bit before you came on live.
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy that Spaced Out Radio and Goofon chat?
I thought it was awesome, man. I had a great time last night. And Dave is awesome. It was the first time I tuned into his show, and thank you for putting me on to that too, because, you know, I was geared up doing something else at the moment. You let me know, and I popped right in there. It was an awesome experience, dude. Really good people in that chat too.
Those guys put out some great shows, that's for sure. I was gonna ask you about. Remember the other night we were on your show and Richie Goofon came on the chat, and there was an accident there. You want to talk about that one at all? It was kind of funny. It was funny to me. I'm sure Rich probably wasn't too happy. Did you talk to Rich about accidentally blocking him from the chat that night?
Yeah, I definitely did. suffice to say that we did smooth it out. But for all those doing the show, and here's a quick bit of advice for you. And you're trying to learn the program that you're working with. Make sure you know what the hell you're doing before, and pay attention to what you're doing. It's easy to do something stupid sometimes, in that technical sense, while your direction of your thinking is all over the place here. So what happened is I had Richie was in the chat, and we had a handful of other people, and there was one guy just kind of causing problems, and I let it go for a minute, and then I was like, you know what, this is enough, and I went to block him. The chat jumped. And unfortunately, Richie's name was right underneath it, and I ended up blocking him by accident, and almost had a quick crisis there, and pretty soon, and if you watch the video closely, you can really see this, especially down in Gunner's corner. All of a sudden, he's looking at me, okay? And he goes straight up into Mod World, and he fixed everything. So, yeah, that was a learning experience for, I might say everyone involved in some way or shape or form. Definitely, like I say, on my end, it was a learning experience.
Well, you guys seem to smooth it out so well that you're going to be on his show on Monday night. Is that correct?
That's correct, my friend.
That's
I will be with Richie on Monday night. So I look forward to that, man.
I'll be there. What are you guys going to discuss? Have you just talked about what you guys might talk about?
No, he hasn't given me any details yet. I'm sure we'll talk about that over the next couple of days.
There's a lot of chatter in the chat rooms about Bat Squatch. Everybody wants to know about Bat Squatch. Ever since Rick's Realm did the Bat Squatch impression, people are going wild for it. They can't get enough.
I don't know what the hell it is about this thing. Yes, Chuck, bam, you are all about this. I know, and you pretty much brought this into my life and everyone around me. To me, this is another cryptid like Mothman, which, it's worthy of looking into, but I don't understand the craze about it all of a sudden. It's great. I encourage the enthusiasm. I do.
Well, getting back to the craze of the Trumps and their UFO stuff, during the Spaced Out radio show last night, they had Third Phase of the Moon was in the chat room. And I had asked them a question. I was like, could you guys put up like a Trump body language analysis of this video? And they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to work on it. And I was like, oh, cool. And they actually put out a video. They didn't do the body language part, but they did a Trump analysis of it and of what he said. And I'm going to play a little bit of that now. But what's cool about it, Dark Hour, is they mentioned Richie Gouffon in the replay. So I'm going to play a little bit of that for you guys. Everybody take a 1 minute break if you have to, but I'm going to put this on. I got to run and shut some speakers off because it's a little bit loud. I'll be back in 1 minute, but I'm going to let the Third Phase thing play. Here, let me get it on. What time are you going to be on Richie's show on Gouffon radio stream?
I would assume 10 o'clock Eastern.
10 o'clock Eastern?
Time. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, here's the Third. Oh, am I back on? I got kicked off the web for a minute.
There's two of you.
Oh boy, there's two of me.
One's frozen, but there you go.
It was so weird. I went to hit the share button and the screen went crazy. Hang on a second. Let me get this.
Sure.
Maybe Phase is blocking me somehow. Maybe they sent like a phaser on YouTube and blew me off. I didn't mean it like that. Like
they targeted your drone first, man.
Okay, here it comes, buddy. Oops. Hang on.
It seems like this light is.
Oh, hang on.
Mm-hmm.
I got to put it right to where I don't want to steal their music or nothing. But they make some good commentary, and then they talk about Richie G here, so I'm going to play that.
First, they already knew what the question was going to be asked, so they were going to go down this line of questioning, especially in regards to how he wants to know, Don Jr., about the aliens. That's all he wants to know, and he wants it to be declassified. And immediately, Donald is right there stating that millions of people want to know what's going on, and might actually, you know what, guys, it might happen real soon, it seems, if people start pressing this question.
I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
Yeah, I was hearing some other comments too. Rich Giordano said, like, President Trump's like the cat that ate the canary.
There it is. They just said Richie Giordano at the 3:43 mark of the video. I'm going to play it back a little bit because it's a little bit loud in here. I don't know why. Seems to happen every time I go live. Everybody wants to start yelling and screaming in the background. They're like, oh, he's on live. Let's go into the bar and start yelling. You guys all shut up. I'm gonna replay it. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit, Michael, for 1 second, okay?
Sure, take
To
time.
get back to where Richie
What
was.
the question was going to be asked. So they were going to go down this line of questioning, and especially in regards to how he wants to know, Don Jr., about the aliens. That's all he wants to know, and he wants it to be declassified. And immediately, Donald is right there stating that millions of people want to know what's going on, and he might actually. You know what, guys? It might happen real soon, it seems, if people start pressing this question.
I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
Yeah, I was hearing some other comments too. Rich Giordano said, like, President Trump's like the cat that ate the canary. You can see his face. He's got a smiley face happening right there, and he feels confident in what he knows. He knows a lot, and he's not telling us really anything. We're at the tip of the iceberg. He gave us a little sneak peek at possible disclosure when Trump leaves office, and that's interesting because we want a democracy and we want different presidents. So that's cool. He's not trying to hold anything. I find that kind of interesting as well.
But it's actually, there are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it.
These questions, again, need to be asked. And like you said, Brent, the demeanor of the president, he seems kind of delighted about the possibility of, like, revealing what he does know. Because in my opinion, he basically knew what was going on the first day when he was inaugurated into the White House, meeting up with Barack. And, you can see it on his face. It seems like he felt
First time Trump spoke about UFOs on video. It was on.
All right, I cut it off.
Dangerous. Shanna Banana, thank.
Sorry. I had to cut it off. I didn't want to get a strike, I guess. Big Cat in the chat's like 59 seconds, cut it off. So I'm like, cut it off real quick. But did you hear Third Phase? Third Phase gave Richie Giordano a shout out in chat. That was pretty cool, huh?
That's awesome, dude.
On the video, they have like 750,000 subscribers or something like this. It's nuts.
That's awesome. I mean, Richie definitely deserves it. The guy, poor guy, works.
What's up, Greenman?
Right on this stuff, dude.
Greenman's in the house.
What's up, Greenman?
I play Greenman's opening music. He's the opening music for the show. His song "Flow." I love it because it's kind of how I like to go, just with the flow. You know what I'm saying, Michael? It's like I don't like to script anything. I just want to talk. I'm gonna have nothing here to sell. Maybe our shows will grow because we're honest and cool about things. You know what I'm saying? But I can lie about shit. But I love the Flow song, and I really appreciate that Greenman lets me use it. Thank you, Greenman. That's awesome. Rodrigo, what's up, bro? But I'm gonna play. Which was I just playing? Oh, the Third Phase. That's gone. We heard Third Phase. That was very nice of them to do that for Richie Goof on, and they showed up in a spaced out travelers or spaced out chat room. So I wonder if Spaced Out Radio will have them on the show one time. I know a lot of people are at odds with Third Phase because some of the stuff they put out is pretty edgy and questionable. What do you think about Third Phase's channel, Dark Hour?
To be honest with you, I'm not familiar with them, and I should be, but I'm not at the moment, and I will familiarize myself after this show. I mean, listen. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're doing this type of stuff, as we've said before, it has to come from the heart. It has to be genuine curiosity for the subject matter. I mean, if you're here to make stuff up and lie, you're doing nothing, not only for the field, but for yourself, and if you get questioned about certain things, I'm not saying being inaccurate by mistake, you misquoted a date or, misquoted a name or something like that. Everybody can get under that umbrella, but at the same time, if you're making stuff up or you're embellishing a story that's got nothing to do with you and you didn't report it or wasn't there to experience, I don't know, man. Again, I don't know these guys, and I will familiarize myself with them. But if there's some hate, yeah, I don't know why. You know what I mean? Unless somebody's doing something they shouldn't be.
That's a great answer. Great answer. You know, you don't know them, so you'll check them out and you'll make your own impression of them. You know,
Absolutely. I'll give them a straight chance.
and that's another thing. You know, I love all the people in the chat room. You guys are all awesome. But that's one of the things I like about the different chat rooms that I get into, especially mine, is that I don't mind the opinions that are expressed. You know, I'd rather see a lot of people talking and sharing their thoughts and ideas. You know, I'd rather see more debates. I don't want to see anybody getting blocked like poor Richie Goofon by accident, or Autopilot, who's still mad at me to this day because I blocked him for timeout and Goofon's by accident. But you know, that's neither here or there. But there's one last video I wanted to play. And hopefully it'll take up about 10-15 minutes of me and you talking about. Do you know anything about UFO Jesus?
Just as much as I've seen through Richie's show and the analysis. I mean, I think I've come across him in my exploration, but I'll be honest with you, when I did, I think I dismissed him pretty quickly. I just didn't like his delivery, and what he was saying just didn't resonate with me. Well,
you know, he really gets what's the left brain or the right brain. I think the right brain is the logical, or the creative side, and the left brain is the logical one. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
So UFO Jesus gets really left brained about UFOs. You should see him I should be flipping this hand. You should see him spaz out, you know, when he talks about these things, because he wants to take it like a scientist. He doesn't think that UFOs are being researched properly. He's saying that there should be more science to the field, and he's really behind this TTSA Academy because they have generals and Air Force officers and other scientists on their board that are going to bring this more into a reality. So UFO Jesus is on this. He thinks he's a little minor scientist, in my opinion, but he doesn't really connect too well, like you said, with the public, because he has this kind of offlandish approach, and he always seems to wear the same kimono every time he's on the video. You know, it's kind of gross, in my opinion.
But see, listen to that though. Just something like that can put people off from paying attention to what you're doing. You know, when you're doing this stuff, you've got to be proper. I mean, if I walked in here, I'm drunk, my hair sticking up like this, and like, I do this talk about UFOs. Do you really want to listen to me? You know what I mean? Probably not. You know.
First floor.
Maybe, I don't know.
First Floor Audio made a comment. First Floor Audio says he needs a new name. But, you know, what's funny is that Richie Goofon claims that he coined his name from, and that UFO Jesus stole it and started using it because Richie Goofon was calling him UFO Jesus.
That's funny, dude. That's funny. And wow, does that I mean, shows the character of a person. You know, I think from what I got, the guy had a huge ego, and he was really full of himself when he was talking. Maybe he knows something. I don't know, but I can't get past that, you know?
But what was weird to me, and how I first heard was that on my show tonight, was that when in 2007 I went to a Democratic debate at Soldier Field, where, you know, there's a lot of bigwigs there, the big names at the time, and Dennis Kucinich was one of the people running for president, and they asked him about UFOs, and people started laughing, and so it's been a real taboo subject for politicians to talk about, especially in an election year. You hardly see any politicians talking about UFOs in an election year. And so to see Trump do a 180 on that, you know, during an election year, you know, I said it's because he is the POTUS, you know, he's in charge. He could really do some good, I guess, to the UFO community if he allows some information to come out. So in my opinion, you know, is it a pandering ploy to get votes from the UFO believers? I don't know. Me and you talked about this earlier. I'm not going to bring it up again, but I am going to jump into the UFO video, Jesus video right here, Mike, and then we'll talk about a little bit and see if you like it or not. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Here, let me. I gotta see if I can share the screen. Hope it doesn't blow out again.
I'll be here.
Trump talks UFOs. UFO Jesus. Here we go.
June 15th, 2019, he was speaking with George Stephanopoulos on Good Morning America.
Before we go, one of the things you have as president is the access to all the information in the world.
I went too far back. Or let me get to the point where he starts talking about it. To be fair. All right, here we go.
His son asked him point blank, do you intend to declassify the files on Roswell? Here's what he had to say.
So last question. Before you leave office, will you let us know if there's aliens? Because this is the only thing I really want to know. I want to know what's going on. Would you ever open up Roswell and let us know what's really going on there?
So many people ask me that question.
I know it sounds almost ridiculous, but it's actually the real question.
It sounds like a cute question, but it's actually, there are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So you're saying you may declassify?
Oh.
You'll take it?
Well, I'll have to think about that one.
I'm going to give you my own commentary on all of those videos combined. But before I do, I want to provide you some outside perspective from a few people. These simple psychological, they have knowledge, creator, but not declassify. Everyone in UFO Twitter land were negative Nancy's. Some folk actually saw what Donald Trump said regarding declassifying the files on Roswell as to be encouraging. Here's what they had to say.
Michael, I got to pause this every once in a while, I guess.
Okay.
Somebody's tweeting, or not tweeting me, send me a Facebook message saying I should pause it and go back to me and you every once in a while we're doing this. So,
okay,
as we're not looking to steal his stuff, but, you know, who cares? I'm just going to play it.
Say, scientist and engineer Deep Prasad wrote, "This is the first well is real."
Fast forward,
lost in thinking and said, kind of, you know what? Extremely telling. I think he has already time. Donald Trump has appeared on television talking about UFOs, without exception, except for arguably his most recent appearance. He has given,
all right, Mike, this is where it gets good,
mixed messages regarding the validity of UFOs. For example, he communicates that he doesn't particularly believe in UFOs, but then when he is asked if he would know if they're of extraterrestrial origin, he responds, well, our great pilots would know, and some of them have seen things they haven't seen in the past. Similar to this, he told Reuters on April 30th, 2020, and it was reported in print.
You know what?
He told them that,
Michael,
I wonder if they're real.
You know what I wanted to do? I was going to put this guy in 1.5 or something, so it's like way faster. I should have done that. Here, let me do that, actually. Let me make him faster. It's like talking. Okay. He's talking a little bit too slow for me.
He's got to stop moving around, too. Jesus.
Well, do you see what I mean about the right arm? The right arm.
Oh, yeah. And he's never done theater, I can tell you that.
Why is it still playing?
That's one hell of a video. And I think when he said, I wonder if it's real, he's referring to the UFOs that are in the videos. I wonder if they're real. Also, that's one hell of a video. So he says the videos are impressive, but he also ensures that he communicates he wonders if those UFOs in the videos are real. Finally, with the most recent appearance, he relays that there's things about Roswell that he's not going to say, that it's very interesting, and regarding whether he will declassify the files on Roswell, that he's got to think about it. I would say with his most recent appearance, it might be a slight upgrade from his previous two, because when he was speaking about Roswell, he did seem to give the UFO subject a little more validity and less mixed messages than in his previous appearances.
I'll agree with UFO Jesus on that one. When he was talking, I mean, it was only a little blip of info on a staged live stream, where the questions, he already knew all the questions, but Trump did have a little bit more excitement about him when he mentioned about Roswell. So that was kind of interesting to me. What do you think, Mike?
I'll take a moment to say one thing that I keep thinking, every time I watch that interview with Trump and his son. It's just awkward to have, your own family member interviewing you at such a high profile. To me, it's awkward. Almost like he could ask him anything and there'll be a wink wink between them, regardless of what he says. And, maybe he structures things in a way that Trump can kind of get around what the real answer is. I don't know. You know what I mean? I just think that's very incongruous, and there might be some bias between. I don't know. That's just weird. But I think UFO Jesus is sort of on to what we're saying. We don't really know the motivation. He flip flops back and forth. We can't get a handle on this guy.
Very true. Very true. Let me finish this UFO Jesus real quick. Let's see.
However, he doesn't clarify whether there's anything extraterrestrial regarding Roswell, only that it's interesting. The few times Trump has chimed in on UFOs, I would have preferred that he said something to the following effect. Well, our pilots, our radar operators, and our technicians have had very interesting encounters with UFOs. And we simply cannot rule out the possibility that some of them may originate from a source outside the human race. If that is the case, then we Americans at some point are simply going to have a conversation about this. Now, if he would have said something on that caliber, I would have given Donald Trump's rating on how he's dealt with the UFO subject an A. Unfortunately, he hasn't done anything even remotely resembling that, and therefore, based upon his handling of this subject, I give him a C, and perhaps that's generous.
Well, that goes back to, I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna get rid of the screen. But that just goes back to UFO Jesus gives Donald Trump a C. You know, he's just putting enough information or spotlight on the subject to just be average. He's not giving us anything new. So it's kind of goes back to like what I said is during an election year, you really never see these people talking about UFOs. So it's really quite bizarre that Donald Trump is doing it recently.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, in an election year, there's some red flags there that we'll have to kind of watch and monitor as best we can, really, to kind of figure out where this guy is coming from. Yeah, now I'll leave it at that. We'll make it anything more political than that. Just have to watch and see what he's trying to do.
Absolutely, and we talked before the show, and we both said we don't like to bring politics into the UFO field, so we just like to be right down the middle and just discuss things.
That's right. That's right.
The bar is starting to get a little bit more lively, Michael, so I might have to wrap it up a few minutes earlier than I planned. So, but I really appreciate you being here. You always help me out, and I can't wait to see you on Goof On radio stream on Monday night. I'll definitely be there, and we will chat more, my brother.
Absolutely, Gunnar. Thank you very much once again, for always being there for me, buddy, and having me on your show tonight. This was a great conversation. I enjoyed it very much.
Anytime, my man. People in chat love you too, man. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you, guys. As Gunnar says, you guys are awesome. Have a great night, guys.
You're awesome. See you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Bye. That's it. It's getting pretty lively in here. I'm going to wrap it up. I don't know where my glasses are. I'm not taking my hat off. Tried cutting my own hair again. Look like a freak. I need some of those Restore 54 plugs on my head. And I got to get massive plastic surgery all over my head. I need it all. I'm going to get it all done. If I ever get 2 million subscribers, I'm going to live stream all my plastic surgery to fix my head. And maybe some more cool tattoos. I got my old Marine Corps one. It's in the Marines. I don't play around. I got a granddaughter. She's cute as hell. I'm going to wrap it up. It's getting pretty crazy in here. It's Friday night. It's all hot out. You guys are awesome. Join my Facebook page. I got a Facebook page. There's a link on the bottom. Join Richie Goofon's channel, Spaced Out Radio. UFO Buster. There's a Discord channel link on the bottom. All the videos that I played tonight, I put links in. Subscribe to Third Phase. You know, I hate to say it, but, you know, if you like UFO Jesus tonight, subscribe to him. We talked about his stuff. He should get some subs out of it, I guess. I don't really get nothing out of this. I just like to talk about it. It's crazy. UFOs are all around. They're real. I'm just trying to bring awareness to the subject. Sorry, it keeps yelling into the mic. It's getting really hot in here. I'm going to take off, guys. Thanks for everybody being here. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Greenman. I'm going to let Greenman take us out. Try to fly the drone.
What you tripping on? So what you tripping on? Said what you tripping on? What you tripping on?
I broke the drone again.
What you tripping on? What you tripping on? Saving over break and we come back way. Noticing up, son. Like a bullet that a song.
I'll see you guys on Goof On. And I'll see you guys on Spaced Out Radio later. And hopefully UFO Buster shows up and does a show. I know he does a Dark Horde, a Saturday show, which is pretty cool on Spreaker. Check him out. These guys are all super cool. It's the only reason you guys are in my chat, because those guys are super cool. You guys are awesome.